Welcome to Healing Quest. I'm Deborah Arneson, your host for tonight. We have a terrific show for you, so please don't change that dial. We have two of my very most favorite guests. We have Dr. Darren Weissman and Dr. Thomas Bain, who have been actually guests on my show before. And they are holistic physicians, and they're doing amazing things here in the northern suburbs of Chicago, helping people not only to heal, but showing people how to heal themselves. So we're just thrilled to have them. Stay tuned. You're going to learn so much tonight and find out how you can attend some of these seminars to help you heal yourself. So Darren, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much.
It's great having you. Thomas, thanks for coming down. I know traffic must have been tough. Wasn't it?
Not so bad.
Okay. Before we go any further, I just want to talk about this because this is really exciting. Darren has finished his book, and it's called Infinite Love and the Way to Optimal Health, using what we're going to discuss tonight, which is the Lifeline approach. And this is something that together Tom and Darren have created over years of experience studying and teaching themselves. So don't miss this book. Whoops, I have it crooked. Darren's picture's on the deck. It's very cute. And basically it talks a little bit about Darren, what he's done, and Tom, and what he's done, but we're going to let them tell you about that themselves. So if you could give our viewing audience just a little bit of an overview on your history and your experience, which is pretty impressive. Darren, I'll start with you.
My background is I consider myself a holistic doctor, in the sense that I've got my doctorate in chiropractic, in naturopathy, and multiple diplomats in acupuncture, homeopathy, different forms of herbology and energy types of medicine. Studied in Eastern Asia and China and Sri Lanka, and just kind of bring it all together.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And how about you, Dr. Bain Thomas?
I, too, am a chiropractor. Darren and I actually graduated together at the National College. And after graduation, I went to Europe and studied holistic medicine for 4 years before I returned back to the States. So
Boy, that changes the way you just practice, doesn't it?
Yes.
Learning other modalities and
But
other
the interesting
cultures.
thing was that we come from different perspectives, but that was what drew us together, was that we were treating the same kinds of patients, but doing it completely different ways. So we thought it would be really neat to just
melt it
in, and that's really the culmination of what the Lifeline is.
Well, tell us what Lifeline is then. What is the Lifeline?
The Lifeline is a comprehensive technique that we use the word the fusion of science and spirit. And the essence of the technique in itself is an energetic technique that utilizes kinesiology, which is muscle testing, to harmonize internalized thoughts, feelings, or beliefs that are creating imbalance in the body.
So to encapsulate, although it's far more involved, it's connecting the psyche-soma and going deeper than just like, oh, your mother, tripped you when you were 7 years old, you took it personal, and now you're holding it in your body. So it goes far beyond that, which you'll get into a little bit today, right?
Yeah.
You're going to show the process to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And when you two came together, how did it evolve? Because I haven't known you that long, but I've known you almost a year or two now, and I've watched your practice evolve, and I see how just curious you are, and how seeking you are, and how just bent on helping people to heal you are. So how did you come up with the Lifeline approach?
Yeah, Tom, tell the story about the big idea.
I love the big idea.
The big idea.
When I was leaving Europe, it just, like one day, it hit me. I was driving in the car, and I was going to a restaurant, but I was on autopilot. I ended up somewhere where I wasn't going, and I just had these thoughts over and over, and it was this idea of us coming together and fusing these two different ideas and helping people on the immediate scale, one-on-one, and helping the individual heal, but also going on a larger scale and helping other people who treat patients to help them recognize our perspective and how you don't have to be one-sided. A lot of people who practice natural medicine, they do nothing more than medicate with herbs or with vitamins, and whereas they're completely leaving off the aspects of energetic medicine or the aspects of repressed emotions or spiritual issues, and they're just not fusing everything into one, and they're concentrating on one aspect of it. And that's what also makes it very confusing for the individual I go to a person who does natural medicine or alternative medicine, and you could meet 20 different people, and they could share stories, and it's 20 different things. So the idea was to fuse it and then get it working, which is what we've done over the last 3 years, is get it to work. You know, initially when we tried to work it, it didn't mix well. And then slowly we started to feel each other out and to get it to work better. And then it works, and now we can go onto the bigger stage, and now we can go in and give seminars and teach it in a concise manner that enables people to go out Monday and start using it with their patients.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. Tom is the left brain. He's the scientist, he's the biochemist, he understands the technical aspect of all the intricacies. And I am on the right side, where I use my creative, artistic abilities and intuitive insights within tapping into the energetic, emotional, spiritual components of disease. And in our combination, and that's the fusion of science and spirit, in our combination, that's where the Lifeline was created. That's where the Lifeline was created. And you know,
well, coming to your clinic is such an experience. You know, I was fortunate to finally get there after over a year, a couple weeks ago, and I first saw Tom, and Tom, you know, worked on me using the Lifeline process and adjusted me lightly, and I felt really great. And then I went into your office, and I didn't think anything else could be adjusted anymore or worked anymore. And every time I stand in front of Darren, I want to cry. It's amazing. It's like his energy is just so mother and nurturing. Like, so I stand in front of you, I'm like, boo, what am I feeling like this for? And you just like, boom, 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 and then you did another little adjustment, and the next thing you know, I walked out of there, and I was higher than a kite. I felt so phenomenal. So I'm not going to be waiting a month. I'll be back up there in a couple weeks, because then I went and played whirly ball and got whacked and whacked and whacked, and I have bruises all over my body, and undid every beautiful thing that you did for me. I'm sure. So it was fun. So it's just phenomenal to watch you two kind of do your dance in unison and help people to heal. And, you know, I've sent so many people to you, and with amazing results, and everyone just falls in love with your technique and your way and your healing potential for them. So
well, thank you.
it's wonderful to have you on this planet. So I'm thrilled.
Thanks.
Tell us about the research of Dr. Emoto in Japan, right? And what
Yes.
relevance it has to our everyday lives.
Well, that's awesome. It's an awesome question. Masaru Emoto is a Japanese researcher who wanted to discover if water has consciousness. And what a question that is. And in his discovery, he took water samples from different areas, such as water from Mount Fuji, a pristine spring water. And he took water from a polluted lake and river in Osaka. And he froze them. And then after freezing them, he put them under a dark field microscope. And he took a picture of it with he had a camera that had photographic capabilities. And each picture, I wish I had it in front of me. It's so amazing.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Each picture had a different structure, and the one that was from the spring water was beautiful crystalline structure, while the one was from the polluted lake had a stagnated, incoherent structure. So then he decided, well, what happens if I play music to this water?
To the sickly water.
No, just to plain distilled water. What if I
Okay.
play music to this water? What happens to the structure? So he played Beethoven and Bach and Mozart and folk music, and then he played heavy metal music. Each one of the samples, after he froze them, after playing music to them, and then took a picture, had a different crystalline structure. But the one that was played with heavy metal music, and there's a lot of negativity and hatred and you know, and violence within the music, had a completely incongruent, incoherent structure to it. It looked stagnated and polluted.
Wow.
And so then he wanted to see, what do words have to do with it? What if I write down on a piece of paper, you know, he did it with a word processor, thank you, or you're great, or love and appreciation. When he did that, when he wrote love and appreciation, he found that beautiful crystalline structures form. When he wrote, I hate you, I will kill you, on a piece of paper, on this water, it formed into stagnated, polluted, cancerous-looking water.
Wow.
And the beauty is that water does have consciousness. And when I heard about this research, I immediately went, that's it. It's something that I always knew.
But
I always
now
knew.
you had validity.
Now we had validity.
Right.
Now we had validity.
And we're what percentage water?
70 to 95% water. So what does that mean?
Well, you better say nice things to me. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it really holds us
Totally.
responsible for
Yes.
the lives that we're leading, and as towards if our water is forming into beautiful crystalline structures that conducts our life force efficiently, or if we're internalizing negative thoughts or pessimistic thoughts or attitudes, and if it's forming to polluted, stagnated, cancerous looking water.
Right. So what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're feeling, what you're emoting, what you're playing, what colors you surround yourself with, and what we're doing to our planet,
Yeah.
you know, with all the negativity with war and whatnot. So that's pretty amazing.
It's real powerful.
Isn't it?
Well, when we realized when we were on to something, you know, at the time, like I said, Darren's the creative aspect. And for me, it's like, all right, well, I'll do it, I accept it, but let's see some science behind it. You know, let's see that it works. So I have a dark field microscope. So we looked at some polluted, stagnant blood. The person actually had hepatitis C.
Wow.
And I stayed in the room looking at the blood, trying to see if anything else was going on. And he went and treated him, and he came back, and I said,
How long was the treatment?
10 minutes tops.
You
And I
did the
came
treatment?
in, and I was still there talking about the old sample. He's like, "Oh, why don't you do another one?" Boom.
Completely different.
Instantaneous
Complete-
change in the
complete-
molecular structure of the
It
blood.
was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool.
And we've gone on to do it multiple different times.
Astonishing.
I mean, we have tapes of people that we've done it that have come in really congested and sickly, and in 10, 15 minutes, complete shift in
You're
the
doing
blood.
Jesus work, you know that. I mean, this is what he did when he walked down.
You know
the
what's
pathway.
beautiful, though? It's like in one of Jesus' Proverbs is like, you know, don't give him a fish, but teach him how to fish.
Right.
And that's what our whole essence is that we're doing great work on people, and the changes are so phenomenal. However, we can train any individual, whether they're a lay person or a practitioner. It doesn't matter what background you have. We've got housewives that are doing this on their children.
That's wonderful.
And the big thing too is that you see real quickly with the technique is the empowerment is in the individual. It's not really about us at
Well,
all.
and you know what was really important about this, as far as my perspective goes, is when you give people the gift of empowerment, you give them a perceived control. And most people today in this world feel like they have absolutely no say and no control over anything. Like everything is spiraling out of control. So when you give them, like, you know, here it is, and it's wrapped in a big, huge bowl, you can heal yourself.
Right.
Isn't that wonderful?
And the bottom line, that's just the truth.
I know.
It's
That's-
within all of us, all the answers, and you just have to stay in PTC.
And we're going to talk about that the next show, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So tell us, what is a symptom?
A symptom is the way that the body communicates to you in saying that it is not happy. A symptom is an opportunity that the body gives you to let you know that in some way you are not treating it right, and it's an opportunity to heal on a deeper level.
That's the big thing. That's the biggest thing. Every time the symptom's there, it's your opportunity.
Yes.
And so many people try to suppress that. You know,
Right.
that's
Walk
the
away
key.
from it,
And that's the other
ignore
thing
it.
when people hear that for the first time, you know, well, okay, you've got a symptom, and rather than, okay, we're going to give you this to make your symptom go away, we say, good. All right, now it's an opportunity to heal. It's an opportunity to heal from that symptom, but that could possibly bring us into a deeper level, and you can heal from something even deeper than the peripheral symptom of thumb pain or whatever it may be. You know, so that again, that right there is very empowering to
It's
the
a great
individual.
attitude,
Yeah.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
You have a
and
symptom, it's like, yo, it's a little like, hello.
it's the language the body uses to communicate. And if I was saying, Shalom, manishma chavra at you'd be like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking
but, but the whole essence is that when we understand the language that the body uses, then we can speak back properly. When we're empowered with the tools of proper water and food and rest and exercise and how to be authentic and own our power in a given moment, then we really can heal on the deepest levels.
Oh, you guys really need to, like, get this out there
We are.
all over. I know your
Yeah.
seminars are starting to bloom
Yeah.
everywhere, aren't they?
Mhm.
Well, let's get there so people can know that they can come and they can learn this and they can gather information. What is muscle testing?
Wanna
How does
explain
it work?
Well, the muscle testing is really the basis of the technique, but it's just the neuromuscular reflexes on the body. You know, the Chinese philosophers diagrammed the acupuncture meridians 5,000 years ago. That hasn't changed at all. And in different areas of the body, as with a patellar reflex, for example, you know, that's an unconscious thing. You can't stop your leg from kicking out when your patellar tendon is stimulated. There's neuromuscular reflexes all over the body that correspond to different organs, glands, different areas of the body. And it's that very idea also which correlates with some of the diagnostic work that we do. The computer-regulated thermography is a way of measuring the temperature at those different points, seeing whether that organ